and welcome to this webinar created by Mass Reading Association on behalf of our president, Patricia Crane DeLagarce, sorry, Galarce. I apologize. My name is Sarah Fenley. I am the professional development coordinator for the Mass Reading Association, and we are very excited to have you all here and to be working with DESE so they can share all of the wonderful things that they have going at their website and the resources for everybody out there to promote literacy education for all learners. During all of this, DESE is going to be sharing, and the members of the literacy department are going to be sharing all the different resources available, but it will be just a just kind of an overview. What we'd like from you is if you have if you see one that you want to learn more about, if you could put that in the chat, we would love to. Our plan for the rest of the year is we would like to do a deeper dive into some of the resources that are available. So if you see one that really piques your interest, please put that in the chat, and that will help us to determine which of the many resources available that we're going to share more information about. All right. And without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Linda from DESE.
Hello. Hi, everyone. We're excited to partner with MRA to be here today to talk about the literacy resources from the Office of Literacy and Humanities for this school year. Thank you, Sarah and Patricia, for having us. And I see all of our literacy team members are popping up on the stage. For our time today, we'll start off with introducing the DESE literacy team. We'll talk about the types of resources you will hear about. We'll hear from the DESE literacy team about key projects, and then we'll end with how you can stay connected to hear more and answer all of your questions. I'll start off with introductions. My name is Linda Sunarine. I'm the Assistant Director of Literacy, and I'll pass it to Dr. Mary Brown.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mary Brown. I'm the Early Literacy Project Coordinator. I work mostly with topics like screening, the regulations, dyslexia, and a range of other topics. And I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Donna.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Mary. I am Donna Goldstein. I'm an ELA Literacy Content Support Lead within the Office of Literacy and Humanities, and my projects focus on supporting the Curate K-5 ELA Literacy Panel, work on the A-List, which you'll be hearing more about shortly, and also working on updates and additions in maintaining the Mass Literacy Guide. So it's a pleasure to be here tonight, and I am going to pass it off to my colleague, Lori.
Thank you, Donna. Hi, everyone. It's great to be with you. I am Laurie McNally, an ELA Content Support Specialist at the Office of Literacy and Humanities here at DESE, and my main projects focus on, I'm a coordinator for the GLEAM grant, Growing Literacy Equity Across Massachusetts, and you'll be hearing more about our new high-quality instructional material communities of practice that I'll be sharing with you in just a few moments. And I would like to pass it off to Allison Pickens.
Hi, everyone. Allison Pickens, ELA Content Lead. I work on a number of curriculum and instruction projects, especially grant opportunities that you'll hear more about soon. Since you've already heard from Linda, I will hand things to Amy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Tavares. I'm an ELA Literacy Content Support Specialist. And some of the projects I work on that you'll hear about today are the Early Literacy Consortium Grant and the PRISM grants.
Awesome. So now that you've met the whole team, we are going to dive in. We'll start off with an overview of the resources you'll hear tonight. So each year, the department plans to offer resources that align with our educational vision and aims to guide schools and districts in providing equitable learning experiences in support of improved outcomes for all students across the Commonwealth. Our educational vision is anchored in our commitment to high quality teaching and learning in the Commonwealth that is anti-racist, inclusive, multilingual, and multicultural. that values and affirms each and every student and their families, and that creates equitable opportunities and experiences for all students, particularly those who have been historically underserved. Today, when we go over resources, you'll see that they're aligned to this vision and they fall under 3 categories: live learning experiences, resources to access anytime, and grant opportunities.
Along with the resources we are sharing being aligned to the educational vision, some of the resources are also a part of Literacy Launch. In her January FY25 budget proposal, Governor Healy included a new early literacy line item. This new line item, funded by Fair Share dollars, creates the new Literacy Launch initiative, focused on strengthening early literacy from age 3 to grade 3. Governor Healy has stated that she hopes Literacy Launch will continue for 5 years. The stated goal of Literacy Launch is to increase the number of public schools and licensed early education and care providers in the Commonwealth, providing evidence-based, culturally and linguistically sustaining literacy instruction to students in preschool through grade 3. Many of the early literacy resources you're going to learn about today will be Literacy Launch funded programs.
Thanks, Allie. And as you consider all of the resources, think about what meets your needs as an individual, what might meet the needs of different individuals in your school or district. Some of these resources you might want to engage with directly, or you may want to share with someone at your school or district. Throughout the presentation, there will be QR codes on the screen, and there'll be links in the chat for easy access. We'll jump into learning about the live learning opportunities now. These opportunities are for, again, they could be for individuals, school teams, or district teams to engage with. And depending on the specific opportunity, think strategically about what might be for you or other colleagues that you work with. We will start off with talking about the Literacy Leaders Network. The Literacy Leaders Network is an opportunity that is great to share with school and district leaders for literacy. If you or someone in your school or district is passionate about promoting literacy and making a lasting impact on education across the state, you or they should consider joining our Massachusetts Literacy Leaders Network. It's a dynamic community of school and district level leaders and change makers who are dedicated to advancing literacy for all students in the Commonwealth. This network is for individuals who would like to share ideas, resources, and best practices with their fellow literacy leaders through our shared best practices to center equity, for those who want to access exclusive workshops, webinars, and training sessions to enhance your skills and knowledge on evidence-based, culturally and linguistically sustaining practices for literacy, for those who want to be a part of statewide initiatives that drive positive change in literacy education to give input and feedback, for those who want to gain access to a wealth of tools, research, and support from experts in the field, and for those who want to build lasting relationships with like-minded professionals who share your passion for literacy. This hybrid network has majority virtual meetings with 2 in-person opportunities. We encourage all literacy leaders to join and come to as many meetings as they can. It's not required to go to all of them. We try to make it a choose your own adventure. And so we would love if you were interested in this opportunity, that you checked it out or shared it with those you think would be interested. For our next live learning opportunity, we'll turn it over to Lori.
Thank you, Linda. Hello, everyone. Again, I'm really excited to share with you our new this year HQIM Communities of Practice. So if you are a Massachusetts school district instructional leader in your first to 3 years of implementing either CKLA Amplify or EL Education for ELA literacy in grades K to 5 or 6 to 8, seeking a supportive community environment where you can connect and collaborate with fellow leaders, then you're going to want to listen carefully as I go over the key components of the newly established Communities of Practice Network. So the network is a free hybrid bi-monthly network, so meaning there are 2 in-person sessions and 3 virtual sessions, structured to give tailored support around your specific high-quality instruction and material. For this particular opportunity, we are focusing on CKLA Amplify or EL Education. And the tailored support will also be specific to your grade band. Each session will foster a supportive community environment where teams can connect and collaborate with other fellow leaders and implementation teams across the Commonwealth. This initiative will span from September 2024 to June 2025. The first session where we will be meeting will be taking place in October. And you can click on the application for more specific information regarding the network and specific dates and times. So this particular network is for those who want to, one, understand the components of high quality instructional materials and how they align to the Mass ELA literacy curriculum frameworks and the WIDA standards. It's also for those who want to skillfully support the implementation of their instructional materials and culturally and linguistically sustaining practices by deeply examining what relevant, real-world, and interactive grade-level work looks like and sounds like to foster deeper learning for all learners in alignment with the instructional materials. We will be utilizing equity-centered instructional tools and routines for unit unpacking, lesson internalization, and looking and analyzing student work and classroom observations to unpack units, plan lessons, and adapt instructional materials to meet diverse learner needs. And lastly, it will be also to develop and expand and or revise your school district implementation plan so that you can apply your understanding and learning throughout the network of the equity-centered tools and routines so that we can effectively support culturally and linguistically sustaining implementation. So for more information, you can click on that or use that QR code to access the HQIM Communities of Practice application form. And if you have any specific questions and want to reach out to me directly, you can do so at lauriebmcnally@mass.gov. And for our next opportunity, I will happily turn it over to Mary.
Thanks, Lori. So happy and cheerful tonight. You always are. So we all know the benefits of working together as a team. So our next opportunity really kind of plays on that team dynamic, especially a district team. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Dyslexia Institute, which we have so far had, I believe it's 50. We're up to charter schools and school districts participate in the Dyslexia Institute, which provides teams with the tools needed to create general and special education structures and supports to meet the needs of students at risk of poor reading outcomes, including dyslexia. The Institute you'll learn from experts about the different components needed to build an effective dyslexia action plan for your district. And we are covering all the hot topics, including early literacy universal screening, data interpretation, tiered intervention, progress monitoring. Oh, there's more. Special education referral process, special education evaluation and assessment tools, IEP goals and objectives, subtypes of dyslexia, multilingual learners, and dyslexia. We've got it all at this institute. Past participants have said that the institute was a great opportunity, and here's a quote, for our district team to collaborate across departments on assessing our current reality in the realm of early literacy and set goals aligned with evidence-based practices for MTSS literacy. In this Dyslexia Institute, you'll receive thoughtful, knowledgeable, and specific support as you increase the capacity of your district to meet students' needs. So we really encourage teams to apply. You have till October 3rd. You can see the QR code there, and the QR code there. And we look forward to maybe seeing you when we start up again in the fall. If you have questions, you can reach out to me, mary.l.brown@mass.gov. And I am going to send it back to Linda for our next set of resources.
Thank you, Mary. Next, we are excited to share resources that are available online, free anytime, anywhere. Donna, can you share the first resource, the Mass Literacy Guide?
Hey, Linda, I'd be happy to. Hi, everyone. Right now, you're looking at your slide, shows you 3 graphics. To the far left, you see the layout of the Mass Literacy Guide. That's the homepage, and the Mass Literacy Guide is an interactive site that includes research, information, and resources to empower educators with evidence-based practices for early literacy. Evidence-based instruction provided within schools in classrooms that are culturally and linguistically sustaining will put our youngest students on the path to literacy. When you explore the Mass Literacy Guide, you'll find a wealth of information regarding teaching and literacy teaching and learning, There's current information on complex text, fluent word reading, language comprehension, students experiencing reading difficulties, equity and literacy, and so much more. There's a lot in the Mass Literacy Guide, but it is well worth your time. Over the past several months, the Office of Literacy and Humanities and the Office of Language Acquisition at DESE have been collaborating on a special Mass Literacy Guide project. This project is the Mass Literacy Guide Multilingual Learner Revision Project. Our goal in this work is to update, expand, and strengthen information and resources for multilingual learners within the Mass Literacy Guide. Specifically, our goal with this expansion is to celebrate linguistic diversity, exemplify instructional practice that is linguistically affirming and culturally sustaining, and also to make sure that all updates in addition to the Mass Literacy Guide are in alignment with the evidence base in which the Mass Literacy Guide is rooted and is also aligned to DESE's educational vision. As part of the Mass Literacy Guide, the second document you see in the center of the slide, we have a special resource called the Early Literacy for Multilingual Learners Cross-Cutting Ideas. This document outlines key ideas along with definitions, examples, and myths to keep in mind when designing literacy instruction curriculum, and programming for multilingual learners. I lost my space, excuse me. This resource is the foundation of the Mass Literacy Multilingual Learner revisions. And those revisions will be coming out later this year. But for now, you can certainly go to Mass Literacy and access this key document. The document is linked in the top resources section of the Mass Literacy Guide, where you'll find lots of other goodies as well. We encourage you to engage with the Mass Literacy Guide, check out newly released resources, and be on the lookout for more updates this school year. It's not time wasted at all. I know you'll find something super useful tomorrow in your classroom. Lastly, we have the A-List, or the Adolescent Literacy Intervention Selection Tool. This is a relatively new resource. The A-List provides information about adolescent literacy intervention for grades 4 through 12 to help educators make informed intervention program choices. The A-List presents the results of expert educator panels of their review of the extent to which intervention programs align with the recommendations from the Institute for Education Sciences practice guide called Providing Reading Interventions for Students in Grades 4 through 9. This supports also enactment of culturally and linguistically sustaining practices. So if you support secondary literacy, we encourage you to check out the A-List and see information on intervention programs as well as the rubrics. The rubrics alone are worth a read. Super important. There are currently 10 reports posted on the A-List, so please check them out. And I am going to pass it to Mary now to talk a little bit more about some early literacy resources. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Donna. So as you can see, this little screenshot from the Early Literacy Universal Screening Assessments webpage. We do have a pretty robust page, and it's designed to support schools and districts throughout your universal screening process. And we really would encourage you to visit the webpage to really take advantage of some of those helpful resources. You'll find an early literacy screening guidance booklet that provides support for all components of universal screening. There's sample family letters. They're also translated into Chinese, Haitian Creole, Portuguese, Spanish, Vietnamese. And then there's also a link for weekly office hours where you can get virtual support. There's like 30-minute windows of time, or you can set up an appointment. There's lots of opportunities to get support for screening. That page is constantly, I would say it's being updated regularly, and we're hoping to have it even more greatly expanded in the coming months. And what goes hand in hand with early literacy screening? The dyslexia guidelines. So the dyslexia guidelines provide a framework of intervention for students at risk of dyslexia and other learning difficulties. It provides a comprehensive resource of evidence-based practices aimed at all educators to support students at risk of dyslexia, as well as those who have already been identified as having dyslexia. And there are wonderful links to other guidance documents. It links to special education and other departments within DESE. It's a really robust guideline document. The guidelines were updated last year, and we're really proud of how much more comprehensive Chapter 9 is, which is, of course, being featured in the screenshot. We've done a lot of work to really bring more information, bring more light into providing or recognizing the unique assets of multilingual learners who are at risk for dyslexia. And we encourage school leaders and teachers and educators to use the recommendations and considerations outlined to approach assessment and instruction through a culturally and linguistically sustaining lens. And since I'm on a roll, I'm just going to keep on going. Donna previously showed a little bit about Mass Literacy Guide. We also have a course, which is pretty wonderful. We know the Mass Literacy Guide has been empowering educators since 2020 with practical strategies and resources for pre-K through 3 literacy. So if you're an educator in Massachusetts looking to boost your early literacy knowledge and teaching skills, you can dive deeper with our free self-paced course. And in the course, you'll learn topics such as strategies for teaching foundational literacy skills and engaging with complex texts using reliable screening tools to understand and meet your students' needs, and developing routines for reviewing data and planning responsive instruction. And one of the things that we've heard a lot about people who have taken the course have taken it as groups, like grade 1 teachers together at a school or a district or a PLC. There's groups of people that are taking this together. So you can take this individually as a self-paced course, but you can also consider taking it with a group of colleagues or friends to really enhance the experience. It is, as I said, it's free, it's self-paced, and you do earn 15 PDPs. And if you want some more information, you can contact me, and the QR code is there as well. And I'm going to scoot back to Linda for the next resource available.
All right, one more resource that you can access anytime. This is Appleseed's Evidence-Based Foundational Skills for Massachusetts. It is a free, complete package of instructional materials for reading foundational skills in kindergarten through grade 2. It can be a great resource for you if you need strong curricular materials for reading foundational skills. Some key features of Appleseeds, which you can see on the screen, are that is a comprehensive suite of materials with hands-on phonics materials, lesson plans, student workbooks, decodable readers, assessments, a curriculum-specific multilingual learner guide. It has an evidence-based scope and sequence that progresses from simple to more complex skill development using a systematic and explicit instructional approach. All of the materials have recently been updated to have diverse and authentic characters to increase student engagement and provide a sense of connection and inclusiveness. It's completely free online and accessible to anyone, all of those materials I just named. So we really encourage you to explore the resources and see what could complement and elevate your reading foundational skills instruction. And then for this last section of resources, we'll go over some grant opportunities that districts can apply to. Amy, can you start off and let us know a little bit more about the Early Literacy Consortium grant?
Absolutely. So part of a statewide effort to support improved literacy outcomes for all students, DESE is really excited to announce that the Early Literacy Consortium grant will be available again for school year 24-25. So this grant program is designed to encourage sustained and meaningful partnerships between districts and educator preparation programs. The Early Literacy Consortium Grant, Fund Code 0726, is a funding opportunity to award regional partnerships up to $100,000 to develop, launch, and/or continue collaborative early literacy initiatives in which districts and educator preparation programs work together to promote effective teaching and learning of evidence-based early literacy. The applications are currently live, and they are due in GEMS by 5 p.m. on Friday, October 11th. I'm going to continue and tell you about an additional grant opportunity that we're also really excited about. So if you're a literacy leader who's focused on improving early literacy achievement in your district and looking to meet the varied literacy needs of all learners, then look no further than the Partnership for Reading Success Massachusetts, also known as the PRISM grant. It might be a good fit. PRISM is just one part of the Literacy Launch Initiative, and through the PRISM One grant program, we will provide significant resources in the form of materials, time, and expertise for 4 years so that programs and schools can implement and sustain evidence-based, culturally and linguistically sustaining practices, along with systems and structures so that all students are reading and writing on grade level by grade 3. For this grant opportunity, applications are also live, and they are due in GEMS by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, October 1st. And just a little bit more information on what the PRISM grant will provide. Funding-wise, funding for high-quality materials, assessments, stipends, and professional development, resources to support leadership development, instructional shifts, and sustainability, time to build, implement, and sustain literacy improvement systems across the next 5 years. And districts or charter schools should consider applying if you want to develop culturally and linguistically sustaining systems and practices to support literacy, to strengthen supports and interventions to meet all students' needs, to improve students' experiences and outcomes, and also to collaborate with experts and other leaders from across the state. I'm going to send it over to Allie now.
Thank you, Amy. In addition to early literacy projects, DESE remains committed to also supporting culturally and linguistically sustaining instruction and the evaluation, selection, and implementation of high-quality curricular materials in grades 4 and beyond. In the coming months, we will release a grant focused on improving secondary literacy achievement and increasing access to high-quality instructional materials in secondary literacy classrooms across the state. The supporting secondary literacy grant programs will provide funding for high-quality instructional materials and accompanying professional development, as well as resources to support the effective launch and implementation of those new high-quality instructional materials. The grant will also support leadership capacity and development, evidence-based and culturally and linguistically sustaining instruction, and long-term sustainability so that all students can have equitable, high-quality literacy instruction and experiences for many years to come. This grant opportunity will be coming soon, so please stay tuned for more information and reach out to Linda with any questions.
Thank you, Allie. So next, we want to talk about how you can stay connected. If there's anything you get from this presentation, we hope that you know that the DESE literacy team, who is all here, is available and accessible. We are here to support you, answer your questions, connect you with opportunities and resources. Please don't be strangers. You can see our contact information here on the slide. We are all partners in support of our students across the Commonwealth, and we are stronger together. I'm going to share another way you can stay connected, which is our Office of Literacy and Humanities newsletter. If you sign up for this newsletter, you'll get fresh updates on all of the different resources and opportunities as soon as they're live and available. So we encourage you to also stay in touch through our newsletter. And then we have some time for questions. I'll take a peek in the chat to see if any questions are coming through. Thank you, Patricia, for putting all of those links. We'll give it a couple minutes to see if anyone has questions. Well, I guess we did a great job of sharing all the clarifications that one could be wondering. Uh, Please let us know what you want to hear more about. Our team wants to thank MRA again for inviting us to present, and we look forward to a partnership throughout the year where we'll do some deep dives on different opportunities and stay connected to make sure that everything is accessible to everyone. Patricia, Sarah, I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to add.
I just want to thank you so much for sharing all of these amazing resources, and we look forward to further collaboration.
Awesome.
Have a great evening.
Have a great night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you for coming.